Question with me, Shavan Sen. Tonight we focus on that big debate emerging from the southern states. Whether at all the delimitation exercise will take away the powers of the southern states, and whether at all there's going to be a disproportionate representation coming in from the northern states. Concerns that have been raised by leaders from southern states, something that the Bharatiya Janata Party appears to be dismissing. But tonight we'll take you through that big debate that's coming up. But up first, these are the headlines we're tracking for you at this.
Parliament House, these are distractions. The real issues in India are unemployment. BJP can't really discuss them, so then they have to do the whole scepter thing. Lying down and doing all that.
In America, Rahul Gandhi talks about the Hindu practices of Ashtang Pranam.
देखिए, ना वो भारतीय है ना उसमें भारतीय सभ्यता है। मुझे ऐसे लग रहा है कि कुछ विदेशी मिशनरियों ने इस फैमिली को यहाँ पे प्लांट किया है, इसकी माँ को और इसको।
Massive anger among Hindu community over Rahul's anti-Hindu comments on foreign soil.
They could sit down with God and have a conversation and explain to him, about what is going on. And of course, our Prime Minister is one such specimen.
From calling elected Prime Minister specimen to claiming that Muslims are being oppressed, Rahul faces backlash. Indian economy is the fastest growing at 7.2% in financial year 2022-2023. Prime Minister Modi takes on Congress over false guarantees in Karnataka and Rajasthan. Sports Minister urges protesting wrestlers to wait for full investigation against Brij Bhushan. Two days after show of strength, Sachin Pilot says no compromise on corruption stand. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a massive face-off that is brewing on the planned delimitation of Lok Sabha seats after 2026. Senior BRS leader and minister KTR has voiced his concern and sought for unity against the population-based delimitation of Lok Sabha seats. He said, and I quote, the progressive policies of the southern states were harming them while those unable to control their population to ensure proper distribution of resources were benefiting from the delimitation. And he also added that if the delimitation process is conducted only on the basis of population, several states in North India are expected to have more representatives in the Lok Sabha, while those in the south may lose a few. The question is whether at all the delimitation debate is essentially justified. Is there a way forward? And should the delimitation exercise be only conducted through ways of population? Are there alternative ways? Is there some sort of a paranoia, or is it a justified position that has been taken by the leaders from the southern states? We'll look into all aspects of that big delimitation debate. Here's a report, and then we begin the burning question.
The delimitation of Lok Sabha seats has become a major cause of concern for the opposition. BRS leader and Telangana Minister K.T. Rama Rao said that delimitation of Lok Sabha seats after 2026 will be a gross injustice to southern states if it is taken up on the basis of population. KTR expressed apprehensions and said that it was unfair and painful that the southern states may get fewer Lok Sabha seats due to the delimitation. He added that it was unfortunate that the states, especially the ones in the northern regions, are benefiting from the increase in the Lok Sabha seats. The BRS leader also claimed the benefits would go to the northern states that do not control the population despite the central government's appeal. AIMIM Chief Asaduddin Owaisi backed KTR.
This concern has been voiced from last 5 years that you cannot penalize those states which have controlled the population. And if you are going to make a benchmark of delimitation on the basis of population, then of course it is a valid point that how can you penalize those states which have controlled the population.
The minister's views comes amid reports that the BJP government at the centre would take up the delimitation process of parliamentary constituencies if the BJP retains power in 2024 general elections. The BJP, however, has retorted to the claims and said that there was no need to fearmonger. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
Well, there are some genuine concerns that have been raised by leaders like KTR as well as Asaduddin Owaisi with regards to what really happens if the delimitation exercise is only going by ways of looking at the population growth. And if you look at multiple papers, reports that have been published so far, the projection that has essentially been made clearly shows that the southern states are at a disadvantage. We'll take a look at those projections also in a short while from now. Perhaps that will give you a better idea as to why exactly KTR and Asaduddin Owaisi are saying that this exercise should not happen in the way it is being planned as of now. BJP has a different version altogether. Joining us on the broadcast tonight are Advocate Rachna Reddy. She happens to be the official spokesperson of the BJP in Telangana. Professor Chambi Puranik, political analyst and former professor of political science, University of Mysuru. We are hoping that the BRS would be joining in a short while from now. Dr. Sumansi Raman, political analyst, and Professor Jyotsna Tirunagari is the national spokesperson of the TDP. Opening up the debate tonight is Professor Jyotsna and Advocate Rachna. To put this into perspective as to what are the concerns. Professor Jyotsna, most of the leaders from the southern states, be it from Karnataka, Kerala, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, almost all of them appear to be speaking in the same voice. There are growing concerns because if you take a look at the projections that have been made with regards to this entire delimitation exercise, then the state that you come from, if at all the exercise happens, then there is bare minimum change from 42 to about 54 seats is the jump that you're looking as far as Telangana is concerned. Tamil Nadu, it's 39 to 49. Karnataka would be only about 20, from 28 to 41. Kerala would perhaps be static. And Uttar Pradesh sees a double from 80 to 146. Now, these are all projections. There are various reports that are coming in. But Professor Jyotsna, let's understand what's the concern that leaders from the southern states are raising. Is this justified or is there some element of paranoia?
When you quoted Telangana, it's just not Telangana. Let me correct you. It's Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. The undivided Andhra Pradesh, we had the 40 plus seats, and now when you talk about 54, we are talking about both these states because the division of United Andhra Pradesh happened in 2014. So now we have both states, either the Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. So here when we take, it is 42 to 54. So which is very meager. And this, as you said, definitely these are all just projections. But even the projections are a little bit scary because the United Andhra Pradesh has always been a very strong hold. You know, when it comes to several issues in the parliament, we always were very, very vocal in addressing the public issues. So now, if this happens, what happens is definitely the voice of the South, what we call, because we have been very vocal, our number was very good. So probably there would be, we would definitely see a decrease in the voice of the South. That's what our concern is, first thing. Second thing is the census that we're talking about, or the population, on what basis, the population basis or what basis, whether whatever they are doing the delimitation or the projected delimitation, what we call, how is the rationality and what is the rationality behind it? If we take it, as you said, you very correctly quoted by you, Uttar Pradesh, a state with 80 seats, is going up to almost you quoted 145 and certain things, certain studies quoted around 175. So this is a point of concern because the voice of the South is also to be heard, and especially Andhra Pradesh and Telangana are to be heard on a very stronger note. So that is probably our major concern. And we want a proportional representation, and probably the rationale behind, the rationale what we are talking about, that is very important for us. And it's definitely a point of concern, no doubt about that.
Why shouldn't there be, it does, on the face of it, it does appear to be a very genuine concern. And Advocate Rachna Reddy, somewhere down the line, your party would be extremely elated about it. Deep down, you would be elated, let's be very honest about it. Because while you say that the Delimitation Commission, it is their final word, it's not a party process. It's a process that is being conducted by a commission. More importantly, it cannot be challenged in the court. It is submitted before the parliament. No modifications can take place in the assembly. All that put together, net, if you really look at it, your party appears to be the big winner. And there would be natural concerns for it from especially parties down south, because they are saying, why are you penalizing me just because we are following the central government rules when it comes to the family planning, when it comes to literacy rates? Now, it's bizarre if a situation comes up that Kerala, which has seen the maximum literacy rate, is actually penalized by simply saying that, look here, there is no population growth in your state. So you need to be happy with the number of Lok Sabha seats you have. So Advocate Rachna Reddy, there are genuine concerns that some leaders down south have.
First of all, namaste to everyone. Here is what I have to say about it. I mean, yes, the delimitation concept itself, as we see in... Can you hear me?
Not be able to hear. Ms. Reddy,
Hello?
You perhaps will have to unmute yourself.
I have unmuted myself.
Yeah, go ahead. Make your
unmuted
point.
myself. Yeah.
Go ahead, make your point.
Yeah. Namaste to all, first of all. Yes. So here is what I have to say about this. First of all, the Constitution. I mean, the Constitution itself provides for delimitation based on census. That is there, right from 1971 onwards. But every time the delimitation has been done, I believe it has been done about 4 times in the last 40 years or so. But every time the delimitation is done, it is done pursuant to a Delimitation Act that is promulgated in the Parliament again. Now, this Delimitation Act, I mean, yes, the Articles 81, 82, 170, 330 and 332 have already been amended, which all deal with delimitation. But there is absolutely no reason for the southern states, and me being from a southern state myself, where the population, as Ms. Jyotsna has stated, is once Andhra Pradesh and Telangana have been separated, the population is really nothing compared to what you would see in probably Uttar Pradesh, although Uttaranchal and Uttarakhand have been separated, or a Bihar and a Jharkhand as well. So even then, I mean, because of the fact that with every delimitation, a delimitation act is there constituted, and only pursuant to that the delimitation is conducted, I believe the southern states do not have anything to fear as of now, because again, this so-called methodology followed by this fear-mongering organization, which again, politically speaking, is related to a specific ruling party in Tamil Nadu.
Now, how is it?
Here is what I have to say. The Delimitation Act,
Rachna Reddy, I don't think it would be fair to say there is fear-mongering. I don't think it would be really fair to say that there is fear-mongering on this entire issue. The exercise is based on the population growth.
Yes, the exercise is based on the population growth of census, but it does not. Here is what I'm trying to say, as a lawyer as well. It does not behoove that the government, while passing another delimitation act to propel the next delimitation, is not going to take other aspects into consideration while dealing with delimitation.
Okay.
Because here again, there has to be a certain proper, appropriate and apportioned number of seats that would be increased in the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha.
You're saying that there should be other aspects. Okay.
Yes. That is why. That is the
You're saying that
reason
there
I'm
should be
stating
other
that
aspects that should
although
be looked into. Let me bring in an expert on this. Okay, you made your point. Let me also quickly go across to an expert on this, Professor Chambi Puranik. He's a political analyst and also a former professor of political science. Professor, can you put this into perspective? Are there any other options, or what has been happening starting all the way back in 1952 when the seats were about 494, 1963 after the reorganization of states it was up to 522, 1973 because of the population surge 543, and 2002 onwards it's left unchanged. The fact of the matter is that perhaps the indices will have to change. We will have to take into consideration other aspects too. Can we really make this entire exercise only about population growth? And it's quite unfair. 18%, if you really look at 18% of population of the southern states is contributing to about 35% of the GDP. If that's the case, it would be extremely unfair.
Yeah, on the face of it, I'm happy to participate in your debate, Shravan, and also my salutations to all our panelists. But I know Article 81, 82 have clearly mentioned about the basis of population for the electoral districts or constituencies to be carved, and that has been there. From 1971 till now, and even 2023, I don't think BJP government will venture into making justice, because before 2026 this has to be done. But my only apprehension is that how are you going to compensate for this kind of unequal representation, and also the kind of progress that southern states have done as compared to the central India or northern states, etc. There is a kind of disproportionate representation. So the very concept of representation, if it is based on PR system of the population, I think that needs to be relooked at also. That's why in another panel when I was discussing this, I was mentioning, is there a way of compensating this in any other form? Because at 81 and Article 82, both of them speak only on the basis of population. I think there is need to relook at both Article 81 and 82, because eminent advocates are also there. It is possible. After all, when you are going to amend the constitution, lock, stock, barrel, and in concern or whatever the kind of the agenda the ruling party has got, I don't think this will come in the way. Second thing is, southern states, as you put the statistics, when our contribution is so much in terms of GDP and our representation all put together, it is almost equal to UP in the parliament. I think, on the face of it, it looks very unjust and unfair. It is not that we are scared of this domination, because the entire country is one and we are a federal system. But the true spirit of federalism is not there in India. Even today, you see, is it, except Mr. H.D. Devagoda, is it ever possible for a South Indian to become Prime Minister? We may become President or, some other kind of position, that's all. But beyond that, is there a possibility of entire South getting representation on the basis of number of seats that it wins in the election? So that means we will never be able to do it also. When this glaring kind of denial of an opportunity is there, I'm sure it has to be looked into it. And BJP spokespersons saying that there is no need for concern or worry and all that. We ought to worry, because we are not party people. You or me, we are here as observers. Definitely we would like to see that this kind of whatever injustice or the unequal representation which is done in the statutes itself is addressed properly. So for that, there is a need for a special committee consisting of judges, political representatives and public men of eminence. All of them put together, they should give their suggestions. I think that has to be done. Along with, you also go ahead with census operation also, because 2024 election, definitely you have an advantage. That is BJP, the present ruling. But we don't know how the political fortunes change also, as it happened in Karnataka. Please tell me.
So as I understand, Professor Puranik, there is certainly a way out. There is certainly a way out. It depends whether at all we are going to have any actionable steps towards ensuring that the southern states are not really left out. And this divide, let's be very honest, at some level, yes, that divide actually exists, and that is the reason why some of the leaders are making that comment. Dr. Suman Siravan, if I can also bring you in as a neutral observer to this entire aspect. Now, it's an issue which unfortunately isn't being discussed in the manner it should be. In the spirit of our country, for the betterment, for the development of our country, we ought to take everyone together. If this kind of a representation takes place, and in fact, for someone who comes from the northeastern states, my state throws up only 2 Lok Sabha seats, so our representation is even worse than perhaps what we are really looking at the southern states. But yes, this is a major concern. Do you believe that there could be certain alternatives? If yes, what are the alternatives that you would like to suggest?
Yeah, 2 things, Shravan. First of all, there's an echo coming, so just tell them to take care of that. The audio team. Yeah. Can I go ahead? Yeah. So I think it's sorted out now. See, the point, Shravan, is very simple. In its present form, this delimitation exercise is a non-starter. I don't think it will go anywhere. No political party in the South can even be remotely seen as supporting this. Even the state units of BJP or Congress in the southern states cannot even be seen to be supporting something like this. So this is a complete non-starter. What you need to do, look, the southern states have 19.8% of the country's population. The 5 southern states contribute close to 35% of the GDP. And the 5 southern states together are less than the population of Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. What are we talking about? Uttar Pradesh contributes 8% of GDP and Bihar another 4% odd. So therefore, here are 2 states with the population of the entire South contributing around 10 to 12% of GDP. And here are 5 states with 19% population contributing 35% of 35% of GDP. So it's not on. It is simply not possible. The government will have to look at a way where, without affecting the interests of the southern states, which would simply mean that they retain their proportion of share. So today, if out of 543, let us say Tamil Nadu has 39, or Kerala has 20, or Karnataka has 28, whatever proportion that remains in 543, if the same proportion is maintained in a larger number, that may be one possible way. Now, clearly, how do you do that? Because per population would be different in the southern states. So you would have a member of parliament for a smaller population in the southern states versus a larger population in the northern states, which would still defeat somewhat the purpose of delimitation. Yes, but you've got to look at an equitable solution. You cannot, already there is a lot of unhappiness in the southern states with what they see as the money that is being collected in the form of taxes going and the states getting back only a fraction of that. State Tamil Nadu, for instance, gets back 49 paise for every 1 rupee that is contributed. Karnataka, I think, gets even less. I think 27 or 30 paise, thereabouts. So there is already a lot of resentment in the southern states saying that we are being penalized for being good performers, for controlling the population, for focusing on economic development. And now, it's almost as if we are being penalized and we will have to, endlessly carry some of the burden of the northern states. So I think that there needs to be a collective decision on this. In its present form, it's a non-starter.
I think so that entire sentiment of carrying the burden of the northern states could be extremely dangerous. I'm running short of time, so I just want to give quick 20 seconds each to the representative from the TDP and the BJP. Professor Jyotsna, you go first. I have just 20 seconds each for both of you. 20 seconds in terms of this burden of carrying the northern states, as Dr. Sumant Raman says. What is it that you are looking forward to? And then finally, the final word coming in from the BJP too, whether at all they are going to also look at alternatives.
See, I wouldn't call it a burden as such, but
Professor
I would definitely call it an injustice, because 35% of India's GDP is from us. So definitely, probably, we have to be rewarded properly. That's what I continue to say. That's the point. I don't call it a burden, but definitely a point of concern. We can't call our neighboring states burden, but yes, a point of concern for the states of South.
No, I said...
Rachna Reddy, would you not then say that... Would you then... There is a, we get the drift of it. Dr. Sumant Raman, we certainly get the drift of it. Professor Jyotsna, Doctor, I understand as a political representative, you will not want to get into it. But Dr. Sumant Raman makes a fair point that, that sentiment does exist. We may want to speak in hushed tones about it, brush it under the carpet, but that entire sentiment does exist.
See, if you
Advocate
just give me
Rachna, just a quick word from you. I think so it would be very unfair on your party to really call it fear-mongering. I don't think so it's fear-mongering, but it's a justified concern, hoping that there would be a better way of looking at it. So one quick word, 20 seconds, I don't have much time.
I started with saying it's fear-mongering because it's too much in the preliminary stages. The other thing is that the Constitutional Amendment Act 84th and the 87th, Constitutional Amendment Act 2001 and 2003. That was the last time delimitation constitutional amendment was done, where 81, 82, 170, 330, all of these articles were changed. Now, here is the thing. Those specific constitutional amendments have specifically stated that this delimitation would exist only based on the census of 1971, only till 2026. So here is my thing. So unless there is another constitutional amendment, IA, or a delimitation act pursuant to which you can make provisions for alternatives, it does not mean that the southern states will not get representation. Here, see, in the last 20 years, these situations, the GDP, the amount of growth that the southern states contribute to have changed by drastic numbers. So I believe the central government, whenever the Delimitation Act is passed, pursuant to an amendment of the articles and the constitution, or individually, independently itself, based on the said articles also, would certainly take all of these things into perspective and include alternatives in addition to census. I certainly agree with Mr. Brahman, who stated that at least the apportionment based on the present approximation.
At least one big takeaway, I would say.
And the
one big takeaway. Thank you, Mr. Reddy. I'm running short of time, so I'll not be. Mr. Reddy, I'm really running short of time. But I think so. One key takeaway from this debate tonight is that, as Professor Puranik was also pointing out, there is certainly a way out. Now it remains to be seen whether at all the centre will act on it and will find a way out, so that this entire divide that exists, or it does not, some would say, that does not aggravate. We as a country should ensure that every state is well represented, and that's the reason why when we say that the new Sansad Bhavan actually represents every inch of our country, it should be done in that right spirit. Thank you very much, Advocate Rachna Reddy, Professor Chambi Puranik, Dr. Subhashi Raman and Professor Jyotsna for joining us on The Burning Question. For the last 6 years, Republic TV has been the #1 channel on TV. On television, day after day, night after night, you, the viewer, have been coming back to us for our investigative reports, our reportage from different parts of the country and the world, our opinions on TV that make us #1. And through our struggles and through everything that we've done to be the #1 channel on TV, it's now time for digital. Republic on digital this July.
For 6 years, you've trusted Republic TV with breaking news, views and debates. For the very first time, we're bringing #1 news brand on digital. Stay tuned for Republic Digital this July.
#1 on TV, now soon on digital. Republic on digital this July.
Republic has been #1 for the last 6 years, and in these 6 years you've loved us, you've supported us, you've stood by us, and we at Republic have broken the biggest news stories. We've set the nation's news agenda, and now we are ready for the big disruption on digital. Yes, so that you don't miss a moment of what's going on in the country and around the world. Republic on digital this July.
For the last 6 years, Republic TV has been the #1 channel on TV. On television, day after day, night after night, you, the viewer, have been coming back to us for our investigative reports, A reportage from different parts of the country and the world. Our opinions on TV that make us number one. And through our struggles and through everything that we've done to be the number one channel on TV, it's now time for digital. Republic on Digital this July.
For 6 years, you've trusted Republic TV with breaking news, views and debates. For the very first time, we're bringing number one news brand on digital. Stay tuned for Republic Digital this July.
Number one on TV, now soon on digital. Republic on Digital this July.
Republic has been number one for the last 6 years. And in these 6 years, you've loved us, you've supported us, you've stood by us. And we at Republic have broken the biggest news stories. We've set the nation's news agenda. And now we are ready for the big disruption on digital. Yes, so that you don't miss a moment of what's going on in the country and around the world. Republic on Digital this July.
For the last 6 years, Republic TV has been the number one channel on TV. On television, day after day, night after night, you, the viewer, have been coming back to us for our investigative reports, our reportage from different parts of the country and the world, our opinions on TV that make us number one. And through our struggles and through everything that we've done to be the number one channel on TV, it's now time for digital. Republic on Digital.
Trending burning question powered by O General and Reva University.
Well, hello and welcome viewers. I am Aishwarya Kapoor and you're watching the Trending Burning Question. And what's trending is, as always, not for good. Rahul Gandhi, umpteen number of times, or should I say whenever he is overseas, he has this habit to speak against his own country in an attempt to target the BJP, in a sheer desperate attempt to target the Prime Minister. Every time he tries to take on Prime Minister Modi, but in that attempt he fails, and then when he tries to take it a notch higher, he forgets the demarcation and attacks India, attack his own country. This is not happening for the first time. It's not a surprise for us. Remember that comment made against the Indian Army, made against the bravery of our Jawans? I haven't forgotten. I'm sure the people of this country have not forgotten. But this time around, when he has very particularly timed his US visit just around 20-25 days prior to the official visit of the Indian Prime Minister to the US, he tries to take on Prime Minister Modi and fails. But in an attempt, because he had to do that gimmicks, he said, he referred to the condition of Dalits in India in the 1980s, forgetting that it was not a BJP government to in India during the 80s. And I am not here to remind the Congress party that in which point, what happened in 1978, on which point the Congress won those elections in a wave. But I am only saying, can I have both my guests on air? I am only saying one thing, that here is a man who wants to be the Prime Minister of India, but cannot stop himself to speak against India whenever he is overseas. Tuhin, and can I have Ashutosh Mishra and Pankaj Sharma both? Pankaj Sharma, I'm coming to you first and then to Tuhin, because I really want to know, sir. Name one leader from any country Any country around the world whose leader has come to India and has ill spoken about their own country. Can you tell me one leader? One leader. One leader, sir, you won't find one. Because there is only one Rahul Gandhi and no one else. Pankaj Sharma, can you please explain why?
What has he told against India? In United States, what has he told against India? Hello? Can you hear me,
carry
please?
on. Can I have the fallback increase? Increase the fallback. Yeah, please carry on.
No, what is insulting which Rahul Gandhi has said there against India? He has not said anything against India. See, if heckling of Rahul Gandhi by some people who support Khalistani extremism is a matter of such big celebration for you, it is indicative of your strong affinity with such elements. You are free to celebrate this. Others are celebrating the befitting reply given to these elements there and then by raising the slogans of Jodo Jodo, Bharat Jodo. Rahul Gandhi has not said anything against India in United States. What has he said? Tell me.
Pankaj Sharma, that's exactly what I'm saying. If instead of Uncle Sam, if you put that Rahul Gandhi visual in a full frame mode, you can see Uncle Sam standing right next to him. If it would have been you, Pankaj Sharma, I'm sure you would have told him that Rahul, it was Indira Gandhi, your own Dadi, your own grandmother, who was the Prime Minister. Don't speak. Okay, you don't refrain yourself to speak against your own country, but at least don't speak against your own family.
What did he say?
Tuhin here is a leader. No, hold on, Pankaj.
What did he say? What did he...
Tuhin, from comparing Shashtang Pranam to laying down,
That was not a Shashtang Pranam.
Sengol being compared to a scepter,
What Narendra Bhai Modi did was not
laying
the
down.
Shashtang
It's a
Pranam.
distraction. New parliament is a distraction. Who speaks like this on foreign soil about their own country?
What Narendra Bhai
one and
Modi
only
did
one,
was
Rahul
not a Shashtang
It's amazing to
Pranam.
him.
Aishwarya
He was
ji,
lying down.
can I come in now?
Shashtang Pranam.
Aishwarya ji,
Pranam is-
Rahul
Yeah, please.
Gandhi's vicious attacks.
Pankaj
Now
ji,
these
I'll come to
people
you.
will
Hold on.
explain us what is. Aishwarya ji, you need to understand that Rahul Gandhi's vicious and nefarious attacks against the country comes on a day when Morgan Stanley has listed India's remarkable turnaround, 10 factors which have contributed to India's remarkable turnaround
Yes.
to Prime Minister Modi on a day when India's GDP has exceeded the expectations at 7.2% and we continue to be the fastest growing economy on the world. So clearly, here is a man of zero credibility who, in order to hide his own failures, has started to denigrate the country habitually. Now, three things which I raise strong objection to. Minorities are under attack. Sakshi, the 16-year-old who was butchered to death in Delhi, was she a minority? In Kashmir, there have been repeated targeted killings in the last 2 years. The only reason for these killings being that the victims have been Hindu families. Does Kashmir not belong to India? As per
Tuhin,
Rahul
he is a
Gandhi, does
man.
Kashmir not belong to
Tuhin, he
India?
is a man whom I feel now. Tuhin, he is a man who wants to represent India but cannot refrain himself to take on his own country. And that's why I said, Ashutosh Mishra, name one leader. The American president, Joe Biden, went through a very, very serious operation, but I didn't see one American leader going on to foreign soil and saying, look, our president is this. They don't. No leader across the world will make such comments on foreign land about their own country, apart from the great Rahul Gandhi. Ashutosh Mishra, why? He wants to take on Modi, he should. He is the opposition. He wants to take on the BJP, he should. But once you are on foreign soil, you represent India. We all represent India, and once you want to be the Prime Minister, you can't deny that, Ashutosh. He wants to be. That's his problem with Modi. You call building up of the parliament as a time pass. You say, look, I don't waste time, I don't lay down. And he's talking to a West Coast crowd. Ashutosh Mishra, Tuhin, you exactly understand what I'm saying. He's speaking to the West Coast crowd back in the US and trying to say as if he's too over and above. He doesn't believe in this culture. That is exactly what he was doing, Pankaj Sharma. That I don't believe in this laying down because he has nothing else to do. He brought that scepter, boss. Understand the significance of Sengol. Understand the significance of Shashtang Pranam. If you don't, it's okay. Ashutosh, please listen. Pankaj, if I don't understand the subject completely, I with folded hands will say, Pankaj, please explain. I will say, Tuhin, please explain. I will say, Ashutosh, please explain. But if I start speaking on Vedas, I am not, I'm going to do a mistake.
A chance to explain to you. If you feel insulted,
Ashutosh, 45 seconds to you, please tell me. What's his problem with India? What's Rahul Gandhi's problem with Bharat?
Aishwarya, your memory is very short. The only person who has gone abroad and insulted India is Narendra Modi in Seoul and Shanghai.
Yes.
2015. When he went and insulted India.
How?
He said people are ashamed of being born in India. They think that what sin have they committed? Rahul Gandhi has done no such thing. And the reality of Prime Minister Modi is known in US. They know they have given him immunity. They put him on a par with MBS. The Saudi prince who is accused of masterminding the murder of a journalist.
Ashutosh, Mishra,
Modi is not India.
Can you see?
Exposing Modi abroad is not insulting India.
The American think tanks more than the people of this country. Hold on, Ashutosh. Ashutosh point taken. To him, they want to trust the American think tanks, the European so-called intellectuals and their thought process more than what the people of India, whose vote they seek, by the way. He's just gone there for a week, 10 days, Ashutosh, and Pankaj, don't forget. He needs to run for election in India. Huh? He's going to seek votes here in India. So, it's the people of India, Tuhin Sinha, who have voted for Modi not once but twice and back to back. Tuhin and then Pankaj, yeah. Tuhin first and then Pankaj.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know,
Tuhin first.
The Indo-US equations are at their peak right now, so I don't know what the other gentleman is talking about. He's probably living in the past, and clearly the Rahul Gandhi's diatribe today is an attempt to, try and sabotage the Modi ji's visit and all the accord that we are going to sign at that point of time. But why does he do that repeatedly? First he says democracy, please don't interfere, have that basic courtesy, have the basic manners. I kept hearing your blabbering. Why does he say things which cannot be substantiated? Why does he say things which cannot be proved? He says democracy is in danger, democracy is the strongest than ever before. He won in Karnataka, that proves. The Congress party won in Karnataka, that itself proves that democracy in India is the most robust, is the best that you can ever expect. So why does he make these unsubstantiated canards? He says during Bharat Jodo Yatra, all sorts of obstructions were used. We saw that he was openly hobnobbing with Rajil Makuti, who butchered a calf. He was openly hobnobbing with Father Bonappa, who has insulted Bharat Mata. We did nothing. So why does he need to spread this falsehood and canard about India to besmirch the reputation of India when we know that India is the most thriving democracy across the world?
Pankaj Sharma, okay, to in point taken. It's a very short format debate. Ashutosh, you can't speak over everyone. Thank you very much. Please calm down. Pankaj Sharma, please explain this to me. Please explain this to me. Calling Shashtang Pranam laying down, Sengol just being a scepter.
Do you know
in the 1980s, the condition of Dalits. What are you saying? What are you trying to do, Pankaj Sharma? What is he trying to do?
Because Narendra Bhai Modi, what he did was not Sashtang Pranam. It was lying down. You know what is Sashtang Pranam? It is, a symbol of complete submission. There are eight portions of that: Sir, Haath, Pair, Hriday, Aankh, Jaan. And after these 6, there are 2. Man or Vachan. This so-called Sashtang Pranam, this lying down, Narendra Bhai Modi did in 2014 for the first time when he reached to the parliament, on the stairs of the parliament. And then what did he do with the parliament? What did he do with the democracy of this country? So it is before everyone. So it was not a Sashtang Pranam. It was a lying down. So Rahul Gandhi has said whatever he said is a fact. So what is against India in this?
Ending comments. Tuhin ending comments. Okay, I have understood. Okay, you are backing Rahul. Pankaj, I have understood. Tuhin.
It is bizarre that now the Congress party and the opposition will teach us what is Sashtang Pranam. The fact is Rahul Gandhi mocked the scepter. The fact is he mocked the scepter. Don't defend the indefensible. And when he mocked the Senghol, when he mocked the scepter, Rahul Gandhi has questioned his own legacy of Nehru.
You won't let Tuhin speak tonight.
That is the problem.
Ashutosh and Pankaj, I'll only say you're not allowing Tuhin to speak because you exactly know, like, time over time, irrespective of whether Uncle Sam is there with him or not.
Let them mislead
He has this habit.
Rahul Gandhi.
In an attempt to take on Prime Minister Modi, he ultimately takes on his own country. Don't forget about that comment made about our forces, about the valor of our Jawans. I have not forgotten, Pankaj, I'm sure. You haven't. You are a senior journalist. Ashutosh, you haven't. So please understand, what Rahul Gandhi is doing is not hitting on Modi, but hitting on Bharat, hitting on India and our Sanskriti, our culture. And this is something which cannot be accepted. Thank you very much to all three of you. It's a very short format of the debate. Thank you very much. I'm sorry I couldn't give you that much time. Ashutosh, thank you very much. And right after the break, it's the man himself, Arnab Goswami, on the debate at 9. Thank you very much, all three of you. Thank you.
A new era of truly international premium schooling is coming to India. Harrow School in the UK, over 450 years, has educated numerous prime ministers, Nobel laureates, royal families, and prominent figures in arts, sciences, and business. Harrow International School is now opening as the most premium co-ed day and boarding school of India in Bengaluru. For admissions to grade 6 onwards, visit harrowbengaluru.in.
For 6 years, you've trusted Republic TV with breaking news, views and debates. For the very first time, we're bringing #1 news brand on digital. Stay tuned for Republic Digital this July.
#1 on TV, now soon on digital. Republic on digital this July.
Republic has been #1 for the last 6 years. And in these 6 years, you've loved us, you've supported us, you've stood by us. And we at Republic have broken the biggest news stories. We've set the nation's news agenda. And now we are ready for the big disruption on digital. Yes, so that you don't miss a moment of what's going on in the country and around the world. Republic on digital this July.
For the last 6 years, Republic TV has been the #1 channel on TV. On television, day after day, night after night, you, the viewer, have been coming back to us for our investigative reports, our reportage from different parts of the country and the world, our opinions on TV that make us #1. And through our struggles and through everything that we've done to be the #1 channel on TV, it's now time for digital. Republic on digital this July.
For 6 years, you've trusted Republic TV with breaking news, views and debates. For the very first time, we're bringing #1 news brand on digital. Stay tuned for Republic Digital this July.
#1 on TV, now soon on digital. Republic on digital this July.
Republic has been #1 for the last 6 years. And in these 6 years, you've loved us, you've supported us, you've stood by us. And we at Republic have broken the biggest news stories. We've set the nation's news agenda. And now we are ready for the big disruption on digital. Yes, so that you don't miss a moment of what's going on in the country and around the world. Republic on digital this July.
For For the last 6 years, Republic TV has been the #1 channel on TV. On television, day after day, night after night, you, the viewer, have been coming back to us for our investigative reports, our reportage from different parts of the country and the world, our opinions on TV that make us #1. And through our struggles and through everything that we've done to be the #1 channel on TV, it's now time for digital. Republic on digital this July.
For 6 years, you've trusted Republic TV with breaking news, views and debates. For the very first time, we're bringing #1 news brand on digital. Stay tuned for Republic Digital this July.
#1 on TV, now soon on digital. Republic on digital this July.
Republic has been #1 for the last 6 years. And in these 6 years, you've loved us, you've supported us, you've stood by us. And we at Republic have broken the biggest news stories. We've set the nation's news agenda. And now we are ready for the big disruption on digital. Yes, so that you...
Motorola, India's best 5G smartphone brand.
In India, our unemployment, price rise, spread of anger and hatred. BJP can't really discuss them, so then they have to do the whole scepter thing, lying down and doing all that. What is happening, for example, to the Muslim community in India today happened to the Dalit